Welcome to Ramblings of a Madman. Today it's going to be a savory topic for humanity. It's about borders. We all know the suffering that humanity has gone through just to protect or to expand their borders. Though we are a social species, we tend to have a knack to build borders around us between social groups or even the smallest unit of society, the family likes to live in their own four walls, inside their own four walls. This is a very strange thing, because indeed we are a very social set of species, but uh, end of the day, we have divided ourselves according to our country, our caste, our skin color, our religion, so on and on and on. And these divisions throughout time created borders between countries, which are even today problems up there which is not resolved, and human life is consumed trying to resolve these things. It is 2020, and even as I speak, quite recently there was a problem in the China and India border, and it consumed vital human lives. This is why this topic is very savory for human beings. But I have been thinking for quite some time, what is there a higher purpose for borders? This is what I was thinking about. Do we really need borders? Because when you talk to people, they will directly go to John Lennon's song that to achieve proper peace you would need no borders, a world without borders where people live in harmony. It's a big dream for humanity, the utopia where there is no borders and people live in peace and harmony together. Though this is the ultimate dream, for some time this idea was there in humanity to develop peace and harmony and give more value to human life. We still struggled to take down our borders. It is more and more evident that as humans we like to build our borders according to our likes and dislikes. Even the smallest unit of humanity, the home, the family, like to stay inside four walls of their own to protect their privacy. So, as much as we are a social set of beings, in privacy and our own area is something maybe self-wired. We create borders along countries, and inside countries we create borders as provinces, cities, districts. We create borders even for very puny things such as skin color, caste, religion. Though we are the same species, we tend to do very small minded things like this. It's very hard for us to stay without having this division in our life. So I was thinking, so much destruction for humanity has come through borders, but if you look at the history, you will find that, I don't know, in a strange way, maybe our survival was there because of borders. But as I was thinking about this, it clicked to me that this 2020, the disaster COVID-19 is the best example to give some value to this concept of borders. In a time where part of humanity is looking ways to take down borders, we all, when we talk to within ourselves, we always talk about the singer song of John Lennon, where to live in ultimate peace and harmony we need borders. But this COVID-19 says otherwise. Think about it for a moment. A devastating virus just spreads across humanity, and different areas get infected in different ways, and the only way that humanity is surviving right now is mainly because of borders. We can close down borders, restrict human transportation because of these borders. Though it is a disadvantage for humanity of this restriction, right now with COVID-19, we see a very big advantage. Countries that are handling this infection poorly, think about it. These countries, if there is no borders, these countries will be the hotspots of spilling out the virus. But because it is a cruel way maybe of thinking about this, but let's say there are 7 billion people around the world, and if 100 million people inside a country get infected, the only way, mathematically speaking, is to isolate that particular 1 million people to save the 7 billion. It is a mathematical approach without a human aspect to it, but it is the truth. Think about it. Right now, United States is doing bad with COVID-19 control. We won't need to get into the politics of it, but at the moment the statistics shows that's the case. So Europe right now restricts travel to United States just because to save themselves. So though one part of humans are suffering, the other part of humans are trying to survive, and they are using borders as the tool to help them survive this pandemic situation. And though we think borders is a disadvantage, the European Union, which is there to take down the borders of in between their countries, have erected it up just to protect themselves. This is a phenomena that is there especially for surviving through these pandemic eras. So I was thinking, is borders such a bad thing? Think about it. If humans were allowed to travel freely all over the place and there is no borders, how can we really protect humanity? This gives meaning to borders. Though there are disadvantages, though humanity has struggled with borders, and countless lives have been lost to borders, today the survival of humanity is counting on borders. Not only these big borders between countries, but actually small borders inside the countries. Districts, towns, cities can be quarantined, closed down, just to save rest of the country. So then by this pandemic event, meaning has given to borders. So in the future, when we as human beings, as society looks to take down borders, we have to consider these complicated instances where humanity need borders to survive. Just a rambling thought in my head, because looking at the stage right now the world is in, maybe borders are the only thing that helps us to survive this pandemic era. Though this is a controversial thought, though this is a way that maybe people will not accept, this is something that came into my mind which justifies borders. In a world where borders are less and less justified and appreciated, maybe this is a mad topic. But it just came to my mind. There is actually a purpose for borders, and if we use this method of division properly, it can be used as an advantage for humanity as a whole. Well, think for a moment. Among thousands and thousands and thousands of disadvantages of borders, is there any advantages like this as well? Yes, this is an unsavory topic, but is there any advantages like this for borders? There will be, most probably. I'm just talking about this particular event which is taken over 2020 with vengeance, and how we can use borders as a tool to protect humanity itself. In the future, this would be a topic I think that people have to consider, rather than creating borders and areas depending on maybe your religion, your caste, your ethnicity, or your skin color, even the money you have. Borders can be erected to facilitate the survival of humans rather than destruction and war. There are many aspects, many topics that we can talk about, but I only wanted to focus on this pandemic situation and the tool we use, borders. We use borders to protect ourselves as humans. Well, is this a topic that is important, or is it just a rambling of a madman? Well, something to think about. Have a nice day. Goodbye, everyone.